just for humans anymore. This is something I saw at the Sony booth. This is a camera for a dog. And I said, well, that's interesting. And I found this other one. This is a wearable sensor for a dog. And it connects to the doghouse. And you can have 50 dogs with this on, and they'll talk to here, and you can figure out when your dog is sleeping or not during the day. So they're actually thinking about sensors for your dog. But there's a lot more in sensors coming out. For example, this is a device that measures the plant, whether your plant needs watering or not, and it will automatically tweet you. This one, Jeff Pulver, like this one. This is a fork that tells you how fast you're eating. So if you eat too fast, it will automatically vibrate and tell you not to do it. And this is a toothbrush for your kids. If you don't brush your teeth enough, it'll send a message to your parents saying you don't get your allowance. But then there's another one. This is a sleep sensor. You stick this under your bed and it tells you how well you slept. So when I'm saying sensors are everywhere, I'm not kidding. Sports are another big area. This goes on the back of the tennis racket, measures how good your swing is. And this is where we're having all of the activity in the United States about brain trauma, etc. This is from Reebok, and this measures how much trauma your head has had. So there are a lot of things that are going on in sensors. So that's one big thing. John Chambers talked about the Internet of Everything, and he said it's a $19 trillion opportunity. What he's talking about is sensors for everything, not just the sensors we have here, but sensors, for example, trash cans in Barcelona and Nice that are automatically tell you when they're full so they can drive trucks to the right place. Or street lighting that's smart. So if there's nobody on the street, why have the lights on bright? Dim the lights. He's talking about really using all these sensors for other things. And at CES, Samsung and LG, who are big players there, both of them showed responsive homes. And they talked about home automation. I found this little company. It's called Revolve. And this is a box that basically has 7 radios in it. It talks Wi-Fi, it talks Bluetooth, it talks Zigbee, it talks Z-Wave, it talks Insteon. So this allows you to talk to all the various devices. You can see on the chart here, there are quite a few things it talks to, and one of them, of course, is Nest. This is the Nest Thermostat. And this is the new Nest smoke alarm. By the way, very interesting acquisition by Google because it basically gave them Apple DNA. So you can think about what they've done here, and I think you'll hear from them later. But these are very well-designed products, but they're all designed to work together. And unlike... Uh-oh, this thing's going to talk in a second. This is only a test. Uh-oh. This is only a test. Uh-oh. That may start yelling at me in a second. Hopefully not. But all of these things required separate apps. This aggregates them all together. Another area that I saw at CES is mobile web medicine. And this is your typical medical kit you can buy at any store. And I've taken this kit, which has your typical medical stuff in it, except it won't unzip, but that's okay. And it has your typical, your bandages, your syringe. But I've added a few extra things. So for example, this is a EKG monitor. It's connected to your phone. There are pads on the back. This reads blood glucose. Over here is a digital thermometer that connects. And yes, if you want, you can even have a stethoscope if you want to play doctor. This is a digital stethoscope that you put on, and as you can see, it plugs into your iPhone. Think about that. Google Glass, digital connections like this, all of a sudden you're a remote doctor. So that's the type of stuff that's going on. But what's really happening at CES, it's all being made smaller. So all of that technology is going to be in this little device here, Scandow Scout. It's part of the Tricluster X Prize project. You'll do all of that in one little device. The other big area at CES was 3D printing. We all saw 3D printing, and we've all seen it before, and you can make nice little models like this, kind of fun. And now MakerBot has now got a big one, a medium size, and a small one. But I thought 3D Systems was even more interesting. They have a new 3D printer. It's called the Chef Chest. Guess what they make with this thing? They make chocolate. They make candy. It's very, very good. So now you have a useful thing you can do with your 3D printer. You can actually make something you can enjoy and eat. But 3D Systems took it one step further. Because how do you get the models in? This is a 3D scanner. This is a low-cost scanner. So I could go and scan your head and make a model of it and print it, and I could sell it for little bobbleheads, and it'll go in your car. It'll be fun stuff. So the 3D scanning is going on as well. And that's the change because 3D printing wasn't allowing that. Ultra high definition, of course, was the big name and thing was being told there, aka 4K. Now, unfortunately, they wouldn't let me bring my 4K monitor on the airplane. It wouldn't fit in the overhead bin. That happens to be a 105-inch screen. It's curved. It does make a difference when you have a large screen. But what's interesting is it's being driven not by sales in Europe and the United States. It's being driven by sales in China. They're going to sell far more ultra-high-definition television sets in China than they will in the United States because they're starting from scratch. And the cost of making, as we just heard a few minutes ago, the cost of making these products is about the same, ultra-high-definition regular. Now, the reason they're selling them so much more is they're putting smarts in the TV sets. The Chinese said, I don't need the smarts. All I need to do is buy a little device like this. This is the Chrome stick. This is Google again. This is, again, the $35 item that goes into your TV set and makes it smart. You've got other people, this is Pocket TV, this is a set-top box that sits in my hand. Now think about that. If this is the Chrome Stick, $35, and now Google owns Nest, put all those together, and you can start seeing some very interesting things about to happen. The other area of high-definition TV that was amazing to me, last year was an 84-inch TV set sold for $25,000. This year I'm able to buy that same set for $7,000. And if I bought it in China, it would be $3,000. Of course, it didn't have a very good upscaler, but a little company called Seiki solved that problem. And I bought a cable. Why a cable? Because this is a smart cable. This has a certified upscaler. It'll automatically take that signal and upscale it to 4K HD, and it's $40. A little upscaler certified. But going right along, the other big area was gaming. And in fact, the reason the consumer electronic companies, the consumer electronic sector did so well this year, which wasn't that good, was because of the release of the PS4 and the Xbox One. So this is the traditional controller you're all familiar with, and they sold it. I'm guessing that's the last controller we'll see, because what's happening, as you can see over here, these gaming consoles, the graphics processing unit, exactly what you were talking about in terms of this density of chips and transistors, is happening. So here is Nvidia. So they make chips for your cell phone. This is a complete gaming console. This is almost as powerful as the Xbox, much cheaper, and it's portable. It's got its own screen. Of course, it will output HD, and if I put this cable onto it, it'll even output 4K. Although the native chip, the Tegra, will actually do 4K without an upscaler very shortly. That's coming out later this year. So gaming is happening. Finally, well, not finally, another big area is virtual reality. This was the big hit at the show this year. It's the Oculus Rift. I won't put it on. But basically what this is a immersive experience. It's got sensors in it. So as I move my head around, I'm actually looking around a virtual world. It's got dual lenses in here, left and right, so I see it in 3D. But it's got all the sensors. I look up, down, around, and about. And that's exactly what I see here. Tie that in with a leap motion, which allows me to control with my hands. And now I can actually fly. It's really amazing. I can put that on. I can see like I'm flying. As I move my hands like Superman, I will actually fly through the sky. That's happening today. And by the way, it's not tens of thousands of dollars. The Consumer Electronics Show. I put this slide up here because it's showing you all of the various brands that were there. I think we maybe should call it the Car Electronics Show. As you can see, there are a lot of different brands that were there. And what was interesting, and this happens to be, and our next guest is from Audi, this happens to be the Audi keynote. I think Ralph de la Vega, who's the president of AT&T Mobile, he's on stage there. Notice Nvidia, the guys who make this, and the other people is the mobile connection. And so this thing with all the antennas, this is what's the next generation. This is a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot that goes into your car. Now, of course, in the car, these antennas will be built into your car, but this now will take your car and make it a moving mobile hotspot. You add a little device like this, and that automatically gives you access to all the car controls. So all of a sudden, we're moving telematics from the home into the vehicle, and it's now built in. So, with that, and moving on to Audi at CES, who did a fabulous job, I want to introduce the next guest on here, Marcus from Audi. And Marcus, welcome, and we can talk about a little bit, we talked before, but please talk to us about your issues.
Well, if you give me the...
You give the clicker, of course.
Thank you. So, hello and good afternoon. My name is Marcus, and I'm from Audi. If you now expect, as I'm a car guy, just to hear something from cars, you have to leave. I'm really sorry for that, because on this part of the DLD, I don't want to talk about cars. I want to talk about what we just heard a little bit, and to take you just over to our biggest challenge as a car